The number of women working in male dominated industries is definitely growing, and as they continue to chip away old stereotypes and shatter glass ceilings, they're making a way for future generations, which I'm super excited about. So today, we're highlighting women who do just that. This is Women for the Win. I am so excited about this segment. Okay, when traveling around the world, we put our lives in the hands of well-trained pilots to get us from point A to point B. And every now and then, when you step on the plane, you see the face or hear the voice of a woman in the cockpit. I know, it's rare, because females make up less than 6% of pilots, guys.
But that number is slowly growing. So we wanted to introduce you to a woman who is not only a leader in the skies, but she also takes time out of her day to talk to kids about career possibilities in aviation. Please welcome First Officer Tammy Benz to the show. Hello, Tammy. Thank you for being here.
How you doing?
So
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
So, Tammy, have you always wanted to be a pilot?
No, I didn't always want to be a pilot. I took the long way around to get here. So I was one of those kids that couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with their life. So I kept changing my major in college. So my sophomore year, my best friend was like, dude, you have to pick something. You can't just keep throwing darts at things. So I always loved flying. I always loved being on airplanes when I was a kid. And I even liked the turbulence. I know that's weird, but I did.
What?
But
That is
aviation
weird.
never seemed like, never seemed like it could be a job for me. I didn't ever think a pilot was a job I could have, but I think it was kind of a representation matters thing. I never saw a pilot that looked like me. So
I love that.
my best friend, now the thing is, my best friend was a genius because of this. So all freshmen had to take an aptitude test at my university before you started your freshman year. So I had taken the test because I had to. And then I was like, I know what I'm doing with my life. And I threw it in a box in my closet, never looked at it. And so now she's like, you should pull out this list of things that you would be good at and pick something you like from that list, which is why I said she was a genius.
Wow.
At the top of the list was aviation. And I was like, Dad, I want to do that. So my school had an aviation program, had its own airport. So I just switched my major to aviation my junior year. And more specifically, I did aviation maintenance. So I'm also an aircraft mechanic. Another
Come
heavily
on.
So impressive.
So, I mean, I've never used it, but I did it. So if I needed something to fall back on, I had that. And I figured making a better pilot
Genius.
if I was a mechanic too. So I did, those things came together. And I've been an airline pilot for 14, going on 15 years now. And it's been awesome.
Wow.
Yes, Tammy.
I want to ask, what is your favorite thing about flying? What do you love about it?
My favorite part is when the autopilot is off, meaning the takeoff and the landing. Because, we're at cruise and we normally have the autopilot on and, we do little
Yeah.
things, but we're not doing that much up there. But once that autopilot is off, then, I'm in the game. So pilots have a saying, and it's that flying is the second greatest thrill known to man. Landing is the first. And I absolutely feel that.
Wow.
So I love that. Yes. Okay, well, we definitely need more women in aviation for sure. So have you seen an increase in all, especially in the 15 years you've been working?
I have. Our numbers are growing slowly, but I think that's because there's more visibility now. People can see us. Just like I was saying, as a kid, I didn't see people that looked like me.
Right.
I didn't see female pilots, let alone, female pilots of color. That was like not a thing. So the fact that we are becoming more visible, I think, is having a bearing on these little girls growing up now. You can see one of us when, walking on or off a plane. And so our numbers are going up slowly. I don't think that there are any specific obstacles that women face over men in this regard. I just think that
Yeah.
it's, it takes seeing someone. So if you can see me, you can be me.
That's
I
right.
love
Love
that.
that.
And the little girl in me is always happy when I see female pilots. It always makes me so happy.
Now, we know to this day, women are still fighting for equal pay in the workforce. Is this something female pilots are fighting for too?
I am grateful to say it is not a fight that I have to have. Aviation is one of the few
Okay.
fields in which, we are paid equally.
Wow.
So my male counterparts hired on the same day as me are getting the same pay rate as me. So I
Amazing.
don't have to fight that fight, and I am enormously grateful for that.
Good.
Wow, that's really great to hear. So, Tammy, you're also the first Black female check airman at Envoy Airlines, but back in the day, which is essentially a supervisor pilot who teaches others piloting, right? So how does it feel that to know you're going down in history? You're making history.
Well, honestly, I didn't know I was making history at the time. This was
Really?
a buddy of mine called me up and said, "Hey, did you know that there wasn't a black female sim check airman before you? You're the first." I was like, "Cool," and that was it. So I just kept moving.
That's amazing.
And
Low key.
and yeah, I mean, that's kind of me. So what I normally say, because I get to ask this question a lot, is a lot of times when you're making history, you don't realize you're making history. The fact that you keep showing up ends up being history. And I just am always encouraging people to keep showing up. And
Ooh, I love,
Yes.
the
yes.
the moments where you get to pause and take a look back on things, those are cool moments. But if you're someone like me, someone has to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, did you know that was back there?" So I'm happy, I'm proud, and all of those awesome things that come with that. And I add that with a healthy helping of humility because I didn't get here by myself. So
Oh, you're so
to
Wow.
cool.
the
Yes.
women that got me here, my family has been great, and I have to shout out my mom and my cousin Angie because those two have been enormously influential in my life. And without those two
That's
very
awesome.
strong female role models, I wouldn't be the woman I am. So I'm very grateful to them. And as far as the actual history making, you don't just get to be a captain and then show up and say, "Hey, I want to be an instructor." You have to interview. So again, it's me and a bunch of guys went up for this one job as an instructor, and they chose me. So yeah, I beat them at their game. but but I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm glad I took the opportunity. I'm grateful that they chose me. And I know that they didn't know at the time that they were making history by making that choice, but I'm grateful for it.
Right. And what
Wow.
would you tell other women today who are interested in becoming a pilot?
Please become a pilot. But I would also say, please know you have to have a thick skin. People are going to say dumb things to you, a lot of dumb things to you. And the people saying those dumb things and those dumb things have nothing to do with you. It has something to do with them.
Right. Right.
So you're going to have to learn to take a lot of things in stride. I hate that I have to say that, but it's still true. I'm hopeful that over time we'll be able to break down the traditionalist, sexist, good old boys club kind of thing that goes on with the whole
Yeah.
aviation deal. The pilots are guys. Well, they're white guys, more specifically. And I'm hoping that we can break up the boys club and throw a bunch more girls in there.
Yes.
Well, we hope so
Yay.
too, Tammy. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and breaking it down for us today. We appreciate you so much. Keep flying safely.